Welcome to Baby Boomer Tales. You can find us at babyboomertales.com. Once you've arrived at our webpage, there are links to our Facebook Baby Boomer Tales page, our YouTube channel, links to different podcast providers where you can find Baby Boomer Tales podcast and other podcasts, pictures of that great country I talk so much about, our Boomers General Store, and other things of interest. Please visit today. Glad to have you ride along with us. My name's Jim. Let's get right into this one, right after we do our new segment called Song of the Week. Our song this week is Your Song by Elton John, written by Bernie Taupin and Elton John. It was first released by Three Dog Night in March 1970 on their album It Ain't Easy. Later that year in October, Elton John released it on a single, and it reached number 8 on the Billboard chart. In 1998, Your Song was inducted into the Grammy Hall of Fame. My Gift Is My Song. What we're doing today is called My Favorite TV Shows. And I'm going to start in 1955. That's when my first memory of TV really is in my head. And we're going to do the 55 through 56 season and go clear through the 79-1980 season. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to give you my top 3 favorite shows of each season. And we'll just click on here through about 25 TV seasons. I hope I can do this in the time allotted. We'll find out. So I better get on my high horse and get traveling here. 1955 through 56. I Love Lucy. It was on the air from 51 through 57. Lucy and Desi, Fred and Ethel. One of the best shows of all time, really. The Ed Sullivan Show. Started in 1948 and ran through 1971. Now, on with the shoe. And a show called The Millionaire, 1955 through 1960. The premise of the show is some rich guy would hand this check for $1 million. You never saw the rich guy's face or anything. To this guy, and he'd have to go find the people that this check was allotted to. And then the rest of the hour-long show followed that person who received the $1 million and how it either helped or ruined their lives. 1956 through 57 TV season. The original Amateur Hour with Ted Mack. The original Amateur Hour had been around on radio since the 30s. Once it went to television, Ted Mack was the host. It was something like a pre-America's Got Talent. The next one, Alfred Hitchcock Presents, 1955 through 65. Alfred Hitchcock was the master of intrigue. Amazing half-hour shows they put on. 1955 through 75, Gunsmoke, Marshall Dillon. In the early days, they had Chester. 1957 through 58 TV season, Wagon Train. It aired from 1957 through 65. Ward Bond was the wagon master. Then he died, and John McIntyre took over for the last 4 years. The Real McCoys, 1957 through 63, starring Walter Brennan. Remember him? He kind of had a limp and a funny gait about him, and his family lived on this little farm. You Bet Your Life, 1950 through 61, Groucho Marx. 1958 through 59 TV season, Father Knows Best. It aired from 1954 through 60. Remember Bud, Princess, Kitten, the kids? The Rifleman, between 1958 and 1963, old Lucas McCain. Perry Mason, 1957 through 66. I don't think Perry ever lost a case. We still watch that today. In fact, I have one recorded on my DVR even as we speak. Not too often, but I still watch one once in a while. He had the first car telephone I ever saw. He was in Los Angeles, and one time he stopped on this hill looking over the town and took out a regular telephone. It looked like a phone, the old time phones that sat on a desk, and dialed in the office there. so I don't know how accurate that was. And I have 4 on this TV season because I couldn't do without the Twilight Zone, 1959 through 64. Could give you the Hoobie Goobies, that's a fact. 1959 through 60 TV season, Lassie. 1954 through 57 featured Jeff as the boy. 1957 through 64 it was Timmy. The Many Loves of Dobie Gillis, 1959 through 63. Remember old Maynard G. Krebs? And the last one on this season, Sugarfoot, 1957 through 61. Old Sugarfoot was known for one thing. He'd go into a saloon, they all drinking whiskey, and he'd order a sarsaparilla. 1960 through 61 TV season, The Andy Griffith Show, 1960 through 68. What a cast of characters. Goomer and Gomer and Opie and Barney, Aunt Bee, Otis, and of course Andy. The Untouchables, 1959 through 63, old Elliot Ness. And Rawhide, 1959 through 65. Clint Eastwood was in that one. He was Rowdy Yates. 1961 through 62 TV season, Bonanza, 1959 through 73. Car 54, Where Are You? 1961 through 63. Old Tootie and Muldoon. And the Flintstones, 1960 through 66. Fred and Wilma, Barney and Betty. 1962 through 63 TV season, Walt Disney's Wonderful World of Color. Walt Disney had something on primetime TV from 1954 through 1990. In 62-63 season, it was called the Walt Disney's Wonderful World of Color. Candid Camera, 1948 through 2014. There was some sort of Candid Camera show going all those years. I'm talking about the one that Alan Funt hosted in the 62-63 season. The Beverly Hillbillies, 1962 through 71. Let's go out to the cement pond. It's hot outside. Let's take a little dip. 1963 through 64 TV season, My Favorite Martian. It aired from 63 through 66. Remember Uncle Martin? The Outer Limits, 1963 through 65. It was more of a science fiction show than Twilight Zone and Alfred Hitchcock. Those other two would play with your mind. This one tried to steal your mind and pickle it. And the last one of this TV season, My Three Sons, 1960 through 1972. We had Mike and Robbie and Chip and Ernie. Hold on, that's 4 sons. 1964 through 65 TV season, Hullabaloo, 1965 through 66. Remember Go-Go Boots? McHale's Navy, 62 through 66. I'll never forget Ensign Parker. The Munsters, 1964 through 66. Good old Herman. Yep, Herman and Lily Munster. The kind of people you'd love to have as your neighbors. 1965 through 66 TV season, The Red Skelton Hour. Red Skelton had a show on prime time between 51 and 71. Remember Clem Cadiddlehopper? Red was actually crazy, he really was. 1965 through 66, one season only, brought you Gidget with Sally Field. My first TV actress crush right there. And Sally Field has always been one of my favorite female actors. Always. The Dick Van Dyke Show, 1961 through 66. I didn't want to have to do it. 1966 through 67 TV season. The Smothers Brothers Comedy Hour. Aired from 67 through 69. The Monkees, 1966 through 68. Davy Jones, Peter Tork, Mickey Dolenz, and Mike Nesmith. Gilligan's Island, 1964 through 67. The 1967 through 68 TV season, The Carol Burnett Show, 67 through 78. Ronan Martin's Laugh-In, 1968 through 73. Remember Goldie Hawn? The Wild Wild West, 1965 through 69, James West. This 1968 through 69 TV season, Hee Haw, started in 1969 and lasted forever, well, at least till 1993. We just watched an episode of Hee Haw last night. Buck Owens, Roy Clark, and the whole Hee Haw gang, acting like they were just hillbillies. What a great show. I Dream of Jeannie, 1965 through 1970, and Bewitched, 1964 through 72. Those two kind of were common and yet very different from each other. The 1969 through 70 TV season, The Lawrence Welk Show, 1955 through 71, and then between 71 and 82 in syndication. Green Acres, 1965 through 71. It's the place to be. Farm living, pretty good life. The Jackie Gleason Show. From 1952 up to 1970, Jackie Gleason had some form of TV show on prime time. To the Moon, Alice, to the Moon. 1970 through 71, the Sonny and Cher Comedy Hour. 71 through 74. All in the Family. 1971 through 79. Archie and Meathead, those two loved each other, didn't they? I only had two that time because I wrote down Red Skelton Show twice, apparently. That's okay. 1971 through 72 TV season. Hawaii Five-0. Ran from 1968 through 80. Book 'em, Dano. The Flip Wilson Show. Between 1970 and 74. Remember Geraldine? And The Odd Couple. 1970 through 75. I'm kind of like Oscar, and then I turned into a Felix, and now I find myself turning back into Oscar as I get older. Amazing. 1972 through 73 TV season. MASH, 72 through 83. What a cast of characters there. Kung Fu, 1972 through 75. Aw, Grasshopper. Sanford and Sons, 1972 through 77. This is the big one, Elizabeth. 1973 through 74 TV season. The Waltons, 1972 through 81. John Boy. Night Night, John Boy. The Mary Tyler Moore Show, 1970 through 77. With Mr. Grant and Ted and Murray. Remember them? And The Bob Newhart Show, 1972 through 78. Now this is the one in Chicago where he is a psychologist or something. Not the one where he's an innkeeper in New England, wherever. 1974 through 75 TV season. The Jeffersons, 1975 through 83. Old George. It's a spin-off of All in the Family. George and Archie had more in common than either one of them would ever want to think. Kolchak, the Night Stalker. This ran one season, 74-75 season. It starred Darren McGavin. When I say Kolchak, that's not Kojak with Telly Savalas. No, this is the Night Stalker. It's real weird, find monsters in the night, expose them. I think he was a reporter or something. Can't really remember. I remember I liked it though. Barney Miller, 1975 through 82. Oh, Wojo. 1975 through 76 TV season. Rhoda, 74 through 78. Spin-off of Mary Tyler Moore Show. Welcome Back, Kotter, 75 through 79. Remember old Vinnie Barbarino? I'm sure you do. Happy Days, 1974 through 84. The Fonz. 1976 through 77 TV season. Charlie's Angels. Ran from 76 through 81. Laverne and Shirley, a spin-off of Happy Days. It aired 1976 through 83. One Day at a Time, 1975 through 84. A single mother raising two teenage girls. 77 through 78 TV season. Little House on the Prairie, 1974 through 82. Old Pa and Half Pint. Can't forget Half Pint. Three's Company, 1977 through 84. With the late, great John Ritter. And Donnie and Marie, 1976 through 79. Last time we were in Las Vegas, we were going to go to Donnie and Marie. It was their farewell season, and I was so tired I just wanted to go home. So we said goodbye to the Donnie and Marie sign outside their theater and hot-footed it back to Kansas. Probably should have stayed one more day. 1978 through 79, WKRP in Cincinnati. 1978 through 82, it aired Dr. Johnny Fever. Taxi, 1978 through 82. Olaka, that guy did the best Elvis impersonation I ever saw. And the last show of this season, The Paper Chase. It was about a bunch of students in a place kind of like Harvard Law. It lasted one season, but it was a famous novel and popular movie. I did like that TV show, and all of a sudden it was gone. And our final season in this volume 1 of my favorite TV shows, 1979 through 80, Mork and Mindy. It aired between 78 and 82. Nanu Nanu. Different Strokes, 1978 through 85. What you talk about, Willis? And the final one that we're going to cover today, Dallas, J.R. Ewing. Well, that'll do it for us this week. I hope I brought back some fond memories. You know, when you start streaming TV shows out there, you can't even find most of these. You'd think on the internet and all the streaming services, you'd be able to find some of this stuff, but who knows? Be kind. If for some reason you find you're not, rewind and be kind anyway. I'll be back next Wednesday. Peace out.